The Chicago Bears just made it official. 3 Chicago Bears were named officially to the Pro Bowl. Plus, Ben Johnson talks about the clutch team. This team is just built different. We're going to talk about it all and more in today's Chicago Bears. Oh, not Chicago Bears Central. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We got Bobby, Steve-O, myself, Hayes, in the building today. And we got to start off with the news. This just literally dropped 18 minutes ago. The Chicago Bears officially have 3 players named in the Pro Bowl. Kevin Byard, Joe Thuney, and Drew Dalman all named to the Pro Bowl officially. This is after the Chicago Bears. A number of Chicago Bears led in the fan voting. Bears fans really did show up to vote for our players. Unfortunately, we weren't able to pull it out with all the guys. How you guys feel about the Pro Bowlers that were named?
I feel pretty damn good, man. It's good to see that a lot of additions over the offseason or some guys that was retained for the Chicago Bears, they were able to contribute to winning so much that they're getting recognized for it. This is the turn. This is the direction we wanted to go in as Chicago Bears fans. We wanted to be recognized not only with our win and loss record, but we also want to see players come into this building and produce for the Chicago Bears. So shout out to the future Hall of Famer and Joe Thuney. And then the center position at Drew Dalman has been outstanding. And then the old headed Kevin Byard has been on a mission all season long.
Best season of his career, maybe.
Yeah, man, and it's just a good thing to see, and we've been saying it since the start of this whole entire thing over here on Chicago Bears Central that coaching matters, and look what one season of good coaching can do for the Chicago Bears, and I'm looking forward to see how we move forward.
For sure.
Yeah, same thing. Like, I think it's pretty accurate of who should have been picked. To be quite honest with you, the most impactful players have been Kevin Byard and the people up front and Joe Thuney and Dalman. We've been screaming for a center for the longest, and we've been telling you how extremely important for it to be for not only the offensive line, but a young quarterback as well, picking up some of the hot signals that the quarterback don't have to pick up, and just overall not having immediate pressure in your quarterback's face would do a tremendous amount of support for your quarterback and confidence. So he won't always looking at the line. He can always keep his eyes upfield. And you seen, like we just seen with the touchdowns all year, because you have a clean pocket, nobody's in your face, Drew Dalman, Joe Thuney. And because of those people, they got everybody else also playing up there. To be honest, I'm surprised that Darnell Wright did get a nod because he was playing his ass off. But like I said, that's because you got somebody like Joe and Andrew that comes in who's been pros for years and they know just how to win, especially Joe Thuney. So, and then Kevin Byard, this is just what he does. And when you get under a certain system like Dennis Adams, who's a no bullshit, go attack the ball type of mindset of a coach, this is the result you get. Somebody that wants to go attack the ball every chance he get, and he's opportunistic, and he go gets the ball. That's a Pro Bowl, in my opinion. I don't give a fuck what age he is.
I mean, yeah, age don't matter. It's how you perform on the field. If anything, his age actually should work for him as far as being in the Pro Bowl, because he is doing it at this age where people expected a slide or a dip off. He's having probably the best season of his career overall. When you look at it, definitely one of the best if you want to make that case for it. So, shout out to these 3 guys for making the Pro Bowl. It's huge. It's major. They all deserve it for the way that they've impacted the team. I do want to look at this list. So the fan voting was initially announced yesterday. Out of that fan voting, which only does account for a third of the Pro Bowl vote, the Bears had 12 players that led their position across the NFC. Caleb Williams led for quarterbacks in fan voting. DeAndre Swift led for running backs, Darnell Wright for tackles, Drew Dalman, Joe Thuney, Tremaine Edmonds, and Sean Wright, Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Torrey Taylor, Devin Duvernay for special teams, and Josh Blackwell all led their respective groups. All I can say is that the fans showed the fuck out for the Chicago Bears this year, and it goes to show a lot about how fans have felt about the season that we showed up to get that many players to lead the fan voting for their position. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That should be a message to all Chicago organizations. You get what we give back what we receive. If we feel like you're giving a damn and you're trying to give us the best talent and best show possible and the best chance of winning, we gonna give you delusional. We're gonna give you straight delusion. That's what we're gonna do.
That's the type of
city we are.
That's an absolute fact.
I agree with that 100%.
Is a fact. Out of those names that I did mention, are there any that stand out to you that you feel probably should have made the Pro Bowl that didn't?
I wouldn't say should have, but I feel so bad for Tremaine Edmonds, man. That injury came at the worst moment, man, because he was on that trajectory to go out there and make this list and make the Pro Bowl and be recognized for what he was, playing. He was playing really well. To me, he was back to them Buffalo Bill days. You know what I'm saying? To where he was in coverage, doing what he does best, sticking his nose into the offense in the run game. And so I feel for him. But ultimately, hey, we still winning games. And I think if the Bears can capture one, I think he'll feel a little bit better. But we're not going to get ahead of our skis. We got to take this shit week by week. We got to take it week by week.
That's a fact. Yeah, I mean, Tremaine Edmonds was on pace to have 100 tackles by like week 10. Like that, if he wouldn't have went down, he would have had over 100 tackles. I think he had already 4 interceptions, which is tied for his career high before he went down. Like, this is a player that missed 4 weeks and was already had 89 tackles, 4 interceptions, a sack. Like, those are some of the highest numbers of his career as far as interceptions and sacks. Like, he was on a great trajectory. So yeah, he definitely got robbed. For me though, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, it's Nashawn Wright. Nashawn Wright probably should have been the Pro Bowler this year, man.
I'm not mad at that. I think that he had some bonehead plays, but look at these clutch. Look, the man always come up with a play when you absolutely need him. Just look at the last game. You can go back in a number of games to where the Bears, they back against the wall in the red zone. They need a play. He's right there. Look at the Black Friday game versus the Eagles in the tush push. He couldn't go out there and really make a tackle. So he said, you know what? Let me go out there and make a play another way. So I agree with that.
Thing. Like, it's not just interception, it's forced fumbles.
Yep.
And for somebody of that stature, you don't expect him to get no fumbles. So the fact that he got 2 or 3 key ones in important times of the game, especially in very tight cover, like, he had to get into a dog pound for both of them. Most we see it every Sunday. It's linebackers that don't, and some linebackers don't even want to get in dog pounds. There's some D linemen that don't want to get in dog pounds. Yeah, he's still fighting to prove a point. He still know, I want to be back here. I gotta earn my contract here. So yeah, I think he got it's a couple people that got snubbed a little bit, but because of the season we have, and I think they're cool with it.
Yeah, it is what it is. The wins are the most important thing. You do that as a team, and that's the most important thing. But y'all might not see those Bears play in the actual Pro Bowl because they may be playing in a different game where they can't play for the Pro Bowl. That's what I'm saying. That's what it is. I'm just gonna leave that there. Moving into the next topic. Though, anything left with the Pro Bowl that y'all want to talk about before we move on?
No.
All right, I want to talk about Ben Johnson's comments, man. Ben Johnson is not satisfied by just making the playoffs. He said this. That was step 1. Step 2 is we want to win the division. We want to have at least one home playoff game. And then step 3 will be clinching the number 1 seed. So there's a lot of things still out there to play for. This was a question that he was asked when he was on 670 to score. A lot of people have been asking, with the Bears clinching the playoff victory, would they start sitting starters? They haven't even officially clinched the NFC North, so I don't think that they should, but it sounds like, regardless, Ben Johnson is going to get gun for that number 1 seed, which could mean you have to play your starters in both these last 2 games. How you guys feel about that?
I feel like that's what's necessary. You came in, and Big Kev was echoing it all Sunday. You said that we setting the bar high, and we want to win now. And I think that what makes it dangerous for any team to play the Chicago Bears is if they got to travel to Soldier Field and feel that Lake Michigan wind cut through that damn uniform. Mm-hmm. It don't matter how many layers you got on, don't matter how much Vaseline you put on your body. That shit's still gonna cut through. It don't matter. So I'm all for it. Let's go out there and capture whatever we got. The season's not over. And I think that if you can go out there and, let's just say, per se, capture the division and capture the number 1 seed, you get yourself a week to get healthy. And who knows what happens with that, and you get maybe a little bit more extra time to game plan for a team that could potentially come to Soldier Field. And what would it be like to have that crowd rocking in a playoff game in Soldier Field with talks about moving to Indiana to where we might have to become Indianimals? No, we want to go out there and make sure Soldier Field is where we're going to be taking care of business, at least for this season.
All right, I want people to hear me clearly because what I'm finna say at first is gonna catch people off guard. Ben Johnson's still on Detroit time. The reason I say that is because he was this fucking close to going to the Super Bowl. He was this close, and quite frankly, that was their real shot. Now you telling me he got a similar opportunity to go in it, and to be quite frankly with you, the team is harder, the defense is playing better, and we're more healthy than the team that he had going into the playoffs. Hell no, he don't give a fuck about just getting to the playoffs because he's seen the teams he's brought in previously be the best team in the world for 2 years straight, and it didn't mean shit. They was the Super Bowl favorites for arguably 3 years. He don't care about getting to the playoffs. He been there, smelt that, taste that, did that. It's about getting to the ultimate game and winning the ultimate game because, like I said on Pat Channel last night, this is the Super Bowl is the hardest championship in the sports. That means you can go to the Super Bowl and never sniff it again.
Yeah.
Let alone the playoffs. There's people that ain't never sniffed the playoff but one time. Hell, those people ain't never been to the playoffs. So no, he's not satisfied. He has an ultimate goal. He wants to win the championship, and he's not going to be satisfied till he get there. And quite frankly, this psychotic motherfucker might not be satisfied after he get it.
Exactly. He may be like, let's win it again.
For real though.
I mean, and that's the right mindset to have. And for the fans that are asking things like, well, why will we play our starters? I need us to realize we've been as a fan base stuck in a loser's mindset for too long because we've been losing. This is what winners do. You gun for shit. You think about stuff like you want to host a playoff game. If you can't earn a bye week, you want to earn that. Give your players a chance to rest. If you can do that, like I want to hear your head coach having his sights set on things higher than just being satisfied in his first year making the playoffs. We've been the best clutch team in football. Like I said in my passionate ass rant that my dad had to call me out about. He was like, "Hey man, you was really going off." After the game, like. People want to hate, want to doubt how the Bears have won, but let's just sit in this and realize we've won 11 out of 15 games, 11, right? And I think that the way that we've won has built up a resiliency in this team that it doesn't matter what the deficit is, they gonna still feel like they can get in every single game. And I tell you what, I want my team to have that mindset. I want my team to feel that way. So I'm not mad at that.
I agree with that 100% because Jaden Daniels and them made it to the conference final, the conference championship last year.
Yep.
Where are they right now? Not even in the playoffs. And we know that this is a year-to-year league. Some teams that feel like they can go back-to-back. Kansas City feel like they can win 3 in a row. They got curb stomped. Kansas City feel like they can get back this year. They're not going to the playoffs. You have to treat these moments and live in the moment, and you have to go out the greatness while you have the opportunities in your face in this league because injuries can devastate your team. Players can move on because of cap situations. Mm-hmm. Coaches can go from good to being kind of mid. You're looking at the Baltimore Ravens right now. So if you have this opportunity that's right in front of you, you gotta go all in. You have to.
You got to treat that motherfucker like Schmeagle. Like, you really do. I'm starting to understand Schmeagle. Precious, you can't be talking too loud. This is mine. You can't take it. I'm not giving it away. You can't. That's how you got to be with this shit. Because I'm telling you, it's motherfuckers that went to the Super Bowl and never sniffed it again.
Hell, there's all-time greats that never made it to a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about all-time great quarterbacks, great players that never even sniffed a Super Bowl. That's how difficult it is.
Yeah, bro. It's just one of those states where you got to take advantage of it. Yeah, we got to clean up on stuff, but we also got to live in the moment too. You got to you're going to think about what you could have done better, but that at the end of the day, a win is a win in this league, and you got to take it. You got to take it and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big fact. So much so, the last topic of the day, the biggest Bears hater Colin Cowherd has had some positive things to say about the Chicago Bears. He said this: one has really changed the direction of two franchises in the same division. The Johnson used to be at Detroit, and wow, were they dynamic? Look at them now. He left and went to Chicago, and the Bears are 11-4 and the best fourth quarter team in football. I don't like to address the national media because they a bunch of hoes, but I will say this: Colin Cowherd has been such a loud Chicago Bears doubter that I'm glad that the dumbass ate his words and we forced him to have to eat them. But I will say this: at least he admitted it, because people like Shady McCoy still don't want to and whatnot. But the Bears have really done a lot to change the perception of this franchise this season. Now, make no mistake, there are going to be people waiting for the Bears to fall next season. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it so they can say, I told you so. But I think it says a lot about not only the draft class, and even saying just one coach changed it. It wasn't just one coach. It was Ben Johnson and the coaching staff. It was the draft class that they had in here as well. It was the schematic change, all those type of things. Everything came together for the Bears this year to really start changing some things. And I'm not going to lie to you fellas, I didn't feel like the Bears would change so much of the national conversation this season, but I'm glad they woke up. It's sad that so many Bears fans are the ones that lack waking up. Shout out to the dumbasses there. But how you guys feel about Colin Cowherd backtracking on what he said earlier?
Hey, rightfully so. But that's if you listen to Colin, I listen to the man then every day. I ain't gonna lie, because he always say something. I'll be like, what?
He always every single day.
I'll be like, what? But you got to give credit what credit is due. He's one of those guys that say when he get new information, he gonna draw a new opinion. So, and shout out to him for doing Colin right, Colin wrong, and admitting that he was wrong. But back to the original quote with the Ben Johnson changing the direction of one team and him leaving the other team, they seem like they backtracking. Fellas, David Montgomery hasn't had double-digit carries for Detroit since November 9th.
Really?
Yep.
So serious.
That's crazy.
And that's not Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, he understands he has a home run hitter that can hit his head on a goal post and break one for 50. He understands that you got to have a thumper. That was the formula in Detroit. That's what allowed their play action to be so effective. And all the fourth down calls that went their way the last few years in Detroit, it's not happening for them this year. And one could argue is that it's a bit questionable over there right now. Yeah, you got a lot of explosive players in Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, and Jahmyr Gibbs, but it's all about how you setting those guys up to succeed. And I don't know. I'm not going to predict that they fall off because they're still a talented team. But it looks a lot different, at least for this season, for the Detroit Lions. So Ben Johnson has been good for the Chicago Bears, and I can't wait to see how he continue to grow and evolve, because Sean McVay over there in LA, if we can have a coach in Chicago like that, by our own version, that means we will have sustained success moving forward. And I can't wait to see if we can make that possible.
I mean, when it comes down to all the media pundits, and this year, I really ain't been getting on their ass, quite frankly, because I somewhat agree, because it's like, I didn't think these motherfuckers was going to change the culture in a year. Like it's funny you say that, because I was just about to say, the last coach that I've ever seen infiltrate a fucking organization, and I mean infiltrated to the point that they changed it that fast, was Sean McVay. And even in the whole span of NFL history, it's not too many coaches that have done that. So it's still a rare thing for it to happen like that. Even what Dan Quinn did last year was kind of crazy, even though it's a little crumbly now. But I respect some of them for, like, you at some point you do got to come to a realization, like, it's a change that's happened and it's evident, and it's been multiple spans of evidence to give you the thought process of saying we're not the same old Bears. Yeah. It's just clear. Like, you seen some of it even in the first year. We just had to get rid of the motherfucker that was still looming. That was the cancer of it. You cut out the goddamn cancer, you could probably still live. And that's what happened. You cut out the goddamn cancer, you fix up your lifestyle, you went to therapy, you got be around the right people. And that's how you change shit around in your life. And that's how you change shit around in the football team. Cut everybody out. That was the cancer. Bring in the people that know how to do their job.
Yeah.
It's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, listen, we've talked about it all season long. We've been here, we've seen it, we witnesses, we've called it live. Like what this team has done from one year to another has been nothing short of amazing. But like Ben Johnson said, like we said, the work ain't done. The work is not done. It's great to feel this feeling. We got 2 more games left, and we know we got some games coming after that. And like I said, I don't know how many of those Bears are going to be able to play in the Pro Bowl because we could be in a different bowl. And I'm starting to believe I'm waiting. I said I'm going to wait till after this season ends to do when we do our playoff predictions. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. There's a special feeling over this team, and it's hard not to get caught up in it, man.
It's hard not to get caught up in it for real, because you see all these clutch games, these comeback games, and you see it that sometimes it may work one year. It's not really that sustainable in multiple years back to back, but just in 1 year, a lot of the times the magic is on your side.
That's a fact.
Maybe Virginia smiling down on us. Come on, lady, give us one.
We got Virginia and we got the Pope. It's just they talking to one another. You feel me? They getting it together. They talking to one another.
That nigga even helping the White Sox. That nigga made a call saying, "Yeah, we need that motherfucker from Japan. Get that motherfucker over there."
Bro, could you imagine if a free agent and you could call him back? Hey, Pope, can you call this free agent for us real quick? If you get a call from the Pope, you better go sign.
The Pope. Ain't no other Pope. It's the Pope.
The Pope.
Hey, I need you to come to the Bulls, folks. I understand. Do this for me, folks. I'll make it worth your while.
I swear, if the Pope say, folks, I'm be done.
Oh, I got Jesus' number personally.
I'll be done.
That's all I do. All I do is pray, folks.
That's crazy, man. That's wild, bro. Any other thoughts before we get up out of here, fellas?
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all stay locked in. Big game versus a good San Francisco 49ers team who is also fighting for what we want as well. So I imagine that it's going to be crazy. So y'all make sure y'all stay locked in, tuned in. Big shout out to the people that I was able to meet at the live event at the Wind Creek Casino. Y'all showed up, showed out, and we shook hands and we talked a little football. So shout out to y'all. And then also, man, happy holidays, people. Enjoy your family. Live in the moment. Tell your people don't be bringing no old stuff to the table. It's time to have fun and live in the moment.
That's absolutely true. Steve-O?
Same thing. Happy holidays. No drinking and driving. Get an Uber. Be safe. And be around your family. Motherfucker, you never know when your time is going to come. Be around your family.
That's a fact. No matter how this season ends, it's clear that the Chicago Bears are back on the right track, which is really important. The team believes, the coach believes, and it feels like the city is believing again, especially when you look at how those Pro Bowl votes came out. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. You can follow us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336 with the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Chi-Town up, Bear down, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.
That nigga such a Chicago nigga. Always come with some stay dangerous.